ومنك السلام ومنك السلام باركت يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. اللهم أعني على ذكرك وشكرك. لا السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. Brothers and sisters, I just wanted to mention something as a reminder. We've mentioned it before in the masjid, but it seems like maybe not everybody was here when I mentioned it, or maybe people forget or neglect, and maybe there needs to be more reminders. There are some ahadith according to which we learn that if we are in the masjid and the adhan is called, then it is not permissible for us to leave the masjid before performing that prayer. One of the texts that is mentioned in that regard is Sayyidina Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu was sitting in the masjid and the adhan was called, and then he saw a man who got up and left the masjid, and he stared at that man as he was walking out of the masjid until he left the masjid. And then Sayyidina Abu Hurairah said to the people who were gathered with him, he said to them, أَمَّا هَذَا فَقَدْ عَصَى أَبَا الْقَاسِمِ, that this man has disobeyed Abu al-Qasim. And who's Abu al-Qasim? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So from this text and other texts, the ulama deduce that if we are in the masjid and the adhan is called, then we are not allowed to leave the masjid until we perform that prayer. So what happens is, people come to the masjid for many different activities. People come to pick up their kids from Sunday school, for example, or they're here to maybe teach in Sunday school, or to other classes that are held in the masjid, other activities that are going on in the masjid. And sometimes the activity will finish right after the adhan is called. Right after the adhan is called, the activity finishes. And what people do is, since the activity is done, they will leave the masjid, even though iqamah is in 10 minutes or 5 minutes. Okay? We cannot do that, brothers and sisters. It's not permissible. We need to wait and pray the salah, and then we can leave. The only exception to that is that if we're going to leave the masjid to go and pray in another masjid, we're going to leave and go and pray in another masjid, then we can do that. Like, for example, if we're leaving from here to go and pray in Allen Masjid, for example, then that would be permissible. But other than that, look, when you hear the adhan, what is that? The adhan is the call to prayer. The mu'adhin is calling you on behalf of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's calling you, hayya ala salah, hayya ala al-falah. And if we do not respond to that call, then what is that? We hear that and we ignore that and we turn away from that. So it's not appropriate and it's not proper. So unless it is an emergency, we should not do that. We should pray in the masjid and then leave after that. Or if we need to leave because we cannot stay until after the salah, then we need to leave before the adhan is called. You need to leave before the adhan is called, yes?
What if you didn't witness the adhan? You came right after the adhan?
No, then it doesn't apply. If you didn't witness the adhan, it doesn't apply. Let's say the adhan was called. I came into the masjid to grab something and I leave. I didn't hear the adhan. It doesn't apply to me. It only applies if the adhan is called while I'm in the masjid and I hear the adhan. والله تعالى أعلم. وصلى اللهم وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.